Hi guys, happy Easter to you all, and because it's Easter we're going to make the perfect Easter dessert. We're going to make an edible eggshell with a passionfruit yolk, white chocolate galettes, some puffed quinoa, a creme diplomat and a whipped chocolate ganache. So, let's begin.
First the passionfruit yolks. Cut a couple of passionfruits in half and scrape out the seeds and the juice. Scrape them all empty on a sieve with a bowl underneath. Then use a ladle to press out all the juice. In total you'll need 420 grams of juice. Once that's done, we're going to balance out the sourness. For this, add 60 grams of sugar, 1 cinnamon stick and 10 cardamom seeds. Now mix this and then let it marinate for at least 3 hours. After that, pass it through a fine sieve. Then measure 200 grams into a saucepan and keep it in your fridge for later. The remaining juice we're going to thicken. For this, add a touch of xanthan gum and mix it for a minute or two. Once it has reached the desired thickness, fill a swirl mold. Find a link to the mold in the description of this video. Now let it freeze for 1 hour. After the hour, stick a toothpick in every bowl and then freeze them to completely solid. Now for the jelly. Mix the 200 grams of passionfruit juice with 50 grams of ginger syrup and 3 grams of kappa powder. Then mix it well, and while slowly stirring, bring it to a boil. Once it has boiled, turn down the heat to a minimum and then remove the passionfruit balls from the mold. Dip them 2 times in the jelly and then gently remove the toothpick. Now let them defrost in your fridge with the toothpick hole facing down. Then for the puffed quinoa. Bring a pan with water to a boil and season it with salt. Once it's boiling, add some quinoa and boil it till the quinoa is completely overcooked. This is going to take around 25 minutes. Then drain it and transfer it on a tray that's lined with a silicone sheet. Now spread it and then let it dry at 60 degrees Celsius. Mix it every now and then to prevent it from sticking to each other, and then you end up with a really nice crumble. Then we can deep fry it to make it puff up. Do this in small batches at a time at 200 degrees Celsius for just a couple of seconds till the big bubbles stop. Once the quinoa is nice and golden, transfer it on a tray that's lined with a kitchen paper and let it drain for a couple of minutes. Then transfer it into a bowl and add 1 or 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. Mix it well and then keep it dry and covered for later. Now for the creme diplomat. Pour 160 grams of milk into a saucepan and also add 35 grams of egg yolk, 25 grams of sugar and 10 grams of cornstarch. Then cut a vanilla pod in half and scrape out the seeds. Add the seeds to the pan and then while stirring bring this to a boil for 30 seconds. It needs to look like this. Then add 10 grams of butter and mix it till it's completely smooth. Now pour it into a bowl, cover it with some foil and then let it cool down in your fridge. While it's cooling down, we can whip the cream. For this, mix 200 grams of cream with 20 grams of sugar and beat it till you have beautiful stiff peaks. Then take the cold pastry cream we made before and beat it for 10 seconds. Now add the beaten cream and gently fold it together. You'll end up with a delicious airy vanilla diplomat. Then keep it in your fridge for later. Now for the white chocolate galettes. First melt some white chocolate in a microwave or on a double boiler. It needs to be 45 degrees Celsius. Then add some white chocolate galettes and mix it till it's smooth. This will cool down the temperature and temper the chocolate. In the end, the chocolate needs to be 30 degrees Celsius. Then pour it on a plastic sheet, put another sheet on top and level it using a big palette knife or a rolling pin. Now let it set for 1 minute. Then use your desired cutter to portion the chocolate while it's still soft. After that, put a flat board or a tray on top and let it set for at least 30 minutes. Then remove the top foil and gently remove the chocolate drops from the bottom foil. For this I use a big palette knife. Then transfer them on a tray or in a container and keep them dry and covered for later. Now for the whipped white chocolate ganache. First soak 2 leaves or 3.3 grams of gelatin in cold water. Then pour 380 grams of cream into a saucepan and bring it to a boil on a medium heat. Meanwhile, mix 100 grams of mascarpone with 130 grams of white chocolate. Once the cream is boiling, dissolve the gelatin and mix it well. Then pour it on the mascarpone and white chocolate and emulsify it with a hand blender. This takes around 30 seconds. Now cover it and let it set in your fridge for at least 10 hours. I always leave it overnight. Then transfer it into a mixing bowl and start beating it. You want soft, stiff peaks, so keep an eye on it. Once that's done, directly stop beating to prevent it from splitting. After that, transfer it into a piping bag and keep it in your fridge for later. Now for the eggshells. Transfer 200 grams of mannitol into a small saucepan and melt it on a medium heat. Stir it every now and then and be careful, because it's super hot. Then take an egg stamp and cover the top with a thin layer of baking spray. This stamp is from Malt Brothers. Now quickly dip the stamp twice in the melted mannitol. Wait a couple of seconds between dipping the stamp. Now while it's still hot, gently remove the shell from the stamp. Then you can just continue making the shells. But again, be very careful, because the mannitol and the stamp are very hot. Now we can start to finish the dessert. First, place the eggshells on a box so you can easily fill them. Then fill the bottom with a layer of the creme diplomat and place the passionfruit yolk on top. Cover this with some of the puff quinoa and then pipe the whipped ganache on top. Now decorate it with the chocolate galettes and sprinkle some more puff quinoa on top. And then they're ready to be served.
Okay guys, that's it for today. I am super happy with the result. I mean, it looks incredible. I'm very happy with the eggshell and the passion fruit in combination with the white chocolate. I think that's gonna be a banger. Yeah, so there are two different ways of presenting it. You can present it like this, so then you can just put it in the middle of the table and each guest can get their own little egg, or traditional in the eggshell holder. Don't know what's called, but I think both look really spectacular. But for now, let's focus on this one. You can just eat it like so, but then it might be a little bit of a mess. So what I would suggest is just to grab it and then put it on the plate. It's gonna fall apart, but that's okay. Like so. Cool. And then there's only one thing to do, and that's enjoy this beauty. So let's dig in. I'm not gonna get such a big bite, but yeah, that's super good. The creaminess of the whipped ganache in combination with the other cream, the delicious vanilla flavor, the crispy quinoa. I know it might sound weird to put quinoa in a dessert, but trust me, it's super good. And then the passion fruit, yeah, that's the star of the show. It balances out perfectly, and I love passion fruit flavor, so I think this is a banger. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you've liked the video. Please let me know in the comments on what you want to see next. Like and share. And as always, bon appetit and a happy Easter.